Hey everybody, how you doing today? We are on to topic number 3, which I think I'm going to surprise Anna with. Let's welcome her to the show. How you doing, Anna?
I'm doing great. Sometimes I love surprises, sometimes I don't. So let's see what you got up your sleeve.
So if you remember, I think 2 weeks ago, it might have been 3, we talked about this proposal for a 15K tax credit. And we're basically like, wrong time, bad idea. It's not going to help the first time buyers. There's no inventory, blah, 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 blah. Do you remember that conversation?
I do.
Well, I've read into it more, and as you know, it's still a proposal. Nothing has been actually written, but they're actually now talking about that 15K credit with the twist, which I think is powerful, that it's going to be for anybody who hasn't bought their primary home in the last 2 years. And when I sat back and thought about that, first off, I'm like, what's magical about 2 years? What are they doing there? But when I really thought about it, I'm like, oh my God, that is going to unlock so much inventory. Think about mom and pop who bought their first home 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 years ago. And we've been missing that move up buyer, right? They're stuck, they're frozen. Now, over, let's say 5 years, they're sitting on 30% equity, maybe 35. Now they're looking at a 15K credit, which they could get. I'm like, holy cow, this could bring inventory to the market where we need it. And it's going to allow people to upgrade in a relatively low interest rate environment. This could, again, assuming it gets done, produce the craziest, most active real estate market I've ever seen. So I thought I'll stop there, let you ask questions or tell me where I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So we thought it would be for first-time home buyers, right?
Yeah,
So
that was
now
originally, it was like copy of
home buyer.
08. We thought it'd be copy of 08. They at least initially called it a first-time home buyer. They even referenced the 8 or 9K credit that Obama did. But now as they're digging in, they're like primary residence. Yes. So that's still, it's not investment houses, primaries, but they're saying anybody who hasn't bought it in the last 2 years. I'm like, holy cow, that's different. That could bring inventory to the market.
Definitely. Now, is there an income limit, Michael, that comes into play for these loans?
As of right now, well, let's be clear, this is a credit. This isn't about the loan. You still got to qualify. You still got to do all of those things, right? So that's outside. Again, it's not proposed yet, so everybody's trying to read the edges. I do not see an income or price point at this point. It's primary, more than 2 years at this point.
Very interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think if they cap the credit for people that are only below a certain income level, maybe that keeps it from being as crazy in terms of inventory, the number of people trying to move up. But if there's no strings attached, and no matter what your income is, if you want, to move and get a $15,000 credit, then that can create a major purchasing spree, right?
And again, it'll be 2 transactions. So originally I thought could be the worst policy mistake ever, right? That's how bad I thought the 15K credit was if it was like the old model. Today, I'm like, oh my God, this literally could produce the most active real estate market we've ever seen, like by 50%. Because again, it's 2 transactions. It's mom and pop who bought their house in 2015. It was an entry first time home. And they're like, you know what? We're sitting on, pick a number, 50K in equity. We'd like to be closer to the school, or we'd like a nicer home, or we want to be on the golf course, or we want whatever. And they'll just use it to move up. So they'll list and then they'll buy. And oh, by the way, the people in the middle, right? The person that had that first upgrade, they can do it too. Oh my God, I've been in this gated community forever. I want a newer model. So I'm going to sell mine and I'm going to go up again. I mean, if it's that open, I mean, who doesn't want free money?
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely incentivize home ownership. And I think I'm going to tell you why I don't think it will, but I think it could also create a bubble, because now you've got this artificially inflated, huge, buying spree that's going to keep increasing prices until there's an equilibrium in the country, right? Certain markets, as we've talked about before, hyper supply, others are well undersupplied. I think as long as, like, let's say you're in the South where there's all these people moving and there's tons of demand and not a lot of supply, those prices are just going to keep going up through the roof when there's a lot of buyers, you know? I think the thing that probably will stop in it, I don't know, you know, this is just my prediction based on the Democrats having both houses of Congress and the presidency. They don't want to help middle income and above average income owners, right? They only want to help those that have an affordability problem. Like that's the name of the game right now is housing affordability. I think that by the time this thing gets passed, they put an income limit and they say, if you're below the median income, then you get the credit. And I think what that does is it keeps this kind of buying frenzy really in the first time home buyer house price range throughout the country. So we'll see.
Yeah. So again, it's funny you went there. I originally said, you know, when I played this out again without the income governor, right? Because I agree, once you add the governor, this kind of model changes. I'm like, we could have an 18-month, maybe 24-month period like we did 05, 06. And oh, by the way, that did not end well, right? We could really blow this balloon up, which will feel great for 2 years. Think GameStop stock Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That felt great. It didn't feel great Monday and Tuesday. I mean, we could do that in the real estate market. It just doesn't happen as fast. It will be over quarters and maybe a year. It's funny that we both went there because, again, we experienced it last time. Last time it was lending. This time could be a tax incentive, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I worked for Bank of America when George Bush introduced the Community Redevelopment Act with these very low doc, not quite no doc, but almost, you know, first time home buyer programs. And it resulted in, you know, massive problems a few years later. So again, I hope that it's not a repeat.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It feels good in the beginning. There are outcomes. Yeah, it's interesting because I think if you do put a governor on it, and again, there may be an income threshold. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if there is, that really, it will create winners and losers in different markets, right? California will get, from the most part, get no love, right? It's just a weird market here. But Tennessee, Memphis, Ohio could see explosive growth, right?
Was just going to go there as well. Our minds think a lot alike sometimes. I just saw that in my great state of Pennsylvania, our governor wants to raise our state income tax from 3% to like 4.2 or 4.3% for people that make above a certain income level. So it's like the repeat of what Cuomo and Newsom are trying to do in New York and California.
Absolutely.
If I get an incentive to move south, my husband might have to be, you know, kicking and dragging and screaming. But if I had an incentive for $15,000 and my state's raising taxes, I might want to move back south, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, you get $15K just to move to Atlanta or Texas or Corpus Christi or wherever you want to go. It could really allow you to, it's like, honey, sorry, I'm not going to leave that money on the table.
Yeah. All this really is leading to the Great Migration. And I tell you, if you're investing and you're looking for single family homes or, you know, apartments, whatever it is, you know, think about the South. Think about the South.
Yeah. So I don't think this 15K credit becomes top of mind probably till year 2 of the administration. There's a lot of other challenges in front of them: stimulus, infrastructure, testing, vaccines, yada, yada, yada. But it's going to be fun to watch this unwind. And I'm going to be watching. If the 15K credit is for everybody to buy a primary home, man, it's going to be wild. And what I did last time, right, in my book is I let the prices run in my market until they were unaffordable, and I sold everything. And I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Fun times ahead.
Fun times ahead. Well, any closing thoughts on this? I want to thank you for these 3 videos. They've been awesome as always. And I want to congratulate you on staying on 75 hard. What are you, like day 35 or something? 32?
I am on day 29.
29, just about to hit 30. I think I'm on day 16, so I'm 2 weeks behind you, I guess.
Or I might be on day 30. Maybe I just finished day 29. I got to look. Just about a month. So I'm proud of myself.
You got this. It's now a habit. You're in the home stretch.
That's right.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks,
Take care.
Michael.
Yep.